Hello Braves fans, here's everything I ate during the 2024 Braves season at Truist Park. The first thing I had was this chicken finger basket. I got it from one of those little walk-up kiosks where you can just grab and go, and it was very okay at best. I will say that it's good if it's hot, but terrible if it's cold. It's not bad if you need something quick and not that fancy. Pretty traditional with the chicken fingers. You get a ton of fries, and you can really choose a selection of different sauces. My sister mixes ketchup and honey mustard to make fancy sauce, and she's a monster. I give this a 2 out of 5 if it's not fresh, a 3 out of 5 if it's fresh. I will say, if you're looking for amazing chicken fingers, look for Coop's. Coop's has the best chicken fingers at Truist Park. Next up is a favorite item alert. This is the Korean barbecue cheesesteak that I found out in the Blue Moon Beer Garden this season, and oh my goodness, is this one of the best things I've had at the ballpark so far. Classic cheesesteak with Korean barbecue and candied jalapenos. I mean, the bread was nice and soft. I have so many nice things I can say about this sandwich. Definitely a surprise of the year. I was not expecting a Korean cheesesteak to 1, be at the ballpark, and 2, taste as good as it did. It's everything you want in a cheesesteak. Cheesy, meaty, sweet, savory, saucy, sweaty. It's everything you want. Honestly, one of the best cheesesteaks I've had probably ever. This one was a 5 out of 5 all day. I got this so many times in the ballpark. Next up is the pitcher's mound. And what the pitcher's mound was, it was a generous pile of waffle fries topped with slow-smoked brisket, spicy cheese sauce, pico de gallo, salsa rojo, and lime crema. Basically, it was barbecue nachos with waffle fries. The lime crema and assorted mix-ins were fantastic in this. The chopped brisket was not too bad. It tastes good, but it was $18, and I will say it was not worth the price. And for that, it gets a 4 out of 5. Next up, you have probably the best item in the entire park. This is the Taco Trio. This is my favorite item at the ballpark. This was my favorite item in 2023, and now 2024. And I say that because it's the most consistent and probably the best bang for your buck at the ballpark. Made for you Mo style, right in front of you. You can just choose what you want in it. They can just kind of pick and choose. It's always chicken, lettuce, pico de gallo, jalapenos, cheese, sour cream. I think that's everything. I'm not 100% sure. Get extra napkins. It can get messy, but this is a 5 out of 5 every time we get it. Next up, you've got Ray's Cuban Sandwich from Poppy's Cuban Grill. The description reads, a tasty combination of slow-roasted pork marinated in Poppy's secret recipe, ham, Swiss cheese, dill pickles, Poppy's special sauce, and mustard on Cuban bread, served with chips, which the chips are like plantain chips. So Poppy's Cuban shop is located on section 114, right on the main level, right in front of the main store. And all they do is really serve Cuban food. It was so good. Yeah, the sandwich is $18, but you get exactly what you pay for. I was not hungry at all after I finished the sandwich and chips. The chips are not too sweet. The plantain chips are exactly what you'd want, where they're just a little sweet, a little salty, but very good and crispy. Overall, a classic great Cuban sandwich. I gave this a 5 out of 5. Next up, another classic, you got your barbecue helmet nachos. I get these with brisket usually, and another thing that's made Moe's style for you right in front of you. You get a ton of chips, a ton of meat, a ton of cheese, both kinds of cheese, pico de gallo. This was probably the most food you get for the price. There's a ton of food, it's made right in front of you, most bang for your buck, and you get a helmet to protect your head. Definitely a 5 out of 5 on this one. Can't go wrong with barbecue nachos. Next up, you've got Uncle Charlie's Chicken Sandwich. The description for Uncle Charlie's Chicken Sandwich is fried chicken dipped in spicy sauce, topped with pickles on a pretzel bun. It was $15. The chicken was hot, sweet, spicy, not bad. The bun was okay, but I'm not too crazy about pretzel buns. The fries are pretty good, but when they're hot, they're very good. This chicken sandwich was pretty good, and it was a lot better than spending $11 at Chick-fil-A around the corner. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Next up, we've got the Perimeter Dog. The Perimeter Dog is a foot-long hot dog topped with bacon jam, sport peppers, don't know what that is, sweet onions, and lemon pepper Dijonnaise. Oh, and it was $12. Good lord, what a hefty wiener. The toppings were good. The bun stayed together. And if you get a hot dog from a ballpark, you know that that's a feat in itself, especially with all the toppings. Came by itself and was fine. It was a lot of food, and I didn't really need a side item. Overall, this was the best hot dog I had at the park last year. I gave this a 5 out of 5 as well. Next up, we've got the Dinger. The dinger is all beef meatballs topped with marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese on a classic Italian roll. It was $14.50. You can get this at the Slice down on the main level in 112. I didn't know they had sandwiches until about 3/4 of the way through the season last year. This was sitting on the warmer, so it wasn't exactly fresh when I got it, which is concerning because I got it at the beginning of the ball game. This was so much food. I struggled to finish it. Honestly, I would split this with at least one other person. But great value for the price. $14.50 could feed 2 to 3 people. Pretty solid. It tastes exactly how you expect it to. They're not really reinventing the meatball sub with this one. In my review, I put, I don't know if I have the meat sweats or if it's just hot outside, but overall, I think it was probably both. Not one of my favorite items, but still pretty good. I give this a 4 out of 5. Next up, we've got the Big Queso. The Big Queso was marinated chicken, Chihuahua cheese, cilantro, and pico de gallo between golden brown bread topped with spicy queso. It was $19. Basically, this tasted like a chicken burrito sandwich. It was awesome. Definitely shareable. The $19 price tag shouldn't spook you. You could share this with 4 people because they cut it into 4 sections. Now, the person I went with didn't want any. I'm not going to waste $19. I ate the whole thing by myself over the course of the whole ball game. I don't recommend doing that, though. The bread was soft. The sauce was spicy. The chicken is very good. It could be a little cheesier, but it doesn't really take away from it. All in all, this was one of my favorite items of last year. I give this a 5 out of 5. And finally, here's an ultimate sandwich from Publix and popcorn from the microwave in my house. Truist Park allows you to bring in as much food as you can fit into a gallon-sized Ziploc bag into the park. They also allow you to bring in 1 sealed water bottle, but they're not really specific on sizes, so I get like big water bottles to bring in. A tip is to also freeze the water, so that way it stays cold longer. But you can really get creative with whatever you want to fit in the Ziploc. That's a fun tip in case you don't want to spend the $20 on a chicken sandwich. I'll see you back out there for the 2025 season at Truist Park. Until next time, go Braves!